Hello folks, this is Mondo again for Mondo on the World, and tonight I'd like to discuss with you this farce that the NBA came up with when the Sonics left. This is part 2 of the Sonics show, and I want to discuss with you the farce that the NBA came up with and said that the Key Arena at the time that the Sonics left, the NBA said that the Key Arena wasn't good enough to support the Sonics, which, in my opinion, was not true. It's just as good as anyone else. I mean, it's just as good as the Tacoma Dome. It's just as good as the Showware Center, I'm assuming, although I've never been there. And it's just as good as any other arena around the area. But because they wanted Seattle to have a new arena to keep them, they wanted to hold us hostage and make us build a new arena. So they said that the Key Arena was unfit. Meanwhile, they've had wrestling. They have had high school basketball tournaments. They have had some college games in there, and no, there hasn't been any ceiling falling out. There hasn't been any issues with that. And if there has been small ones, they've fixed them, and we haven't had any problems with that as far as I know. And anyway, they've had a whole bunch of events in there, and for them to say that, the NBA, I mean, for them to say that, oh, well, the Key Arena isn't good enough to have a basketball team in there, then would you mind please explaining to me why all of a sudden, if the Kings come here to be the Sonics, why is the Key Arena all of a sudden good enough to support the Sonics for 2 more years? And I don't mean that in a negative way. I'm just saying that if they would have allowed us to have the Sonics years ago before they left, if they would have allowed us to keep the Sonics for the 2 years that we had the lease, then chances are that the Sonics wouldn't have left, because we would have found an owner who could have kept the Sonics here, and they wouldn't be in Oklahoma right now, almost winning NBA championships, which I have to say is making me sick. So, that's how I feel about it. That's what that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. And if you have any comments about this show or any other one, please contact the website. This is Mondo for Mondo on the World, and we'll see you again for the next episode of Mondo on the World. Good night.